Really? Really? All right. Time to do it. All right. We got to do it, guys. You all ready?
No.
I had to threaten to tase these dogs a little bit ago.
Sergeant, I'm doing it. All right, we're live. That's enough of that nonsense. I was waiting on somebody in the chat to say something, and nobody says anything.
Exactly.
This Hangout on Air is live. Hangouts on Air is going away August 1st for quick streaming. Try youtube.com/webcam. Do not try that because it sucks ass.
Oh, it's not any good.
No, it's a single person, single camera bullshit, and it's got your little live feed up in the corner, and if you click on that so that you can hear and see how big of a delay you've got, it actually feeds into the stream. So you get a delay and an echo. Same thing with their other option, the stream beta. Same thing. It's a one cam. The webcam and stream beta are the same thing, except the stream beta runs through your OBS or your third-party software. So, yeah. But we'll cover our possible options, since nobody's covered that this week. I don't know why. I mean, everybody knows it's coming up. I don't know why nobody's covered what the possible options are for streaming. What's that?
When is it coming up?
August 1st.
Probably be a good idea.
I don't know. We should ask Kinky when it's coming up.
He might have
posted it on your video.
He probably did. He's posting that he's good with cameras on my videos, and yeah. Don't worry about that, boy.
So it's like really happening soon.
Oh yeah, that's what they say.
StreamYard, the only answer. We're done.
Yeah.
I would have
to. Shush. We got to cover that. I need content. I need topics. So, hello everybody out there in the chat. Participants, that looks light. It says Carolina EDC reviews. Gives Gary out there. Jason Stewart is out there. Kingpin is out there. Mad Sexy. Rupan RX. Seven Wonders. The Gun Snob. Me. I know Gunpowder was out there. Pretty sure I saw somebody else out there too.
There's an ape.
G-Webs was out there. Fine Ape's out there. He has a link. You might as well get in here now, Fine Ape, because after the next couple of weeks, we've only got room for 6.
No, you can get 10 in there.
Oh no, it's down to 6.
Yeah, and then you've got like backstage.
Apparently, G-Webs is doing nothing but hanging out at
7-Eleven
today.
If you check under your seat, there is a free Slurpee for everybody watching the show tonight.
I didn't even realize they were doing that, because we got like 2 7-Elevens here in town. Hit both of them.
Geez, that is like 19th, headache of the day from drinking Slurpees too fast.
That's a damn lie. There was no Slurpee anywhere.
Too busy eating Fig Newtons to go get his free Slurpee.
We don't have 7-Elevens in Oklahoma. Sorry.
Yeah, Quick Trips.
We have fake 7-Elevens in Oklahoma City, but they're not even kin to the real ones.
Well, G-Webs is watching a creepy Facebook chat about the NRA.
Have you been to like real 7-Elevens? They're nothing special.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
They're nothing compared to a Quick Trip. Quick Trip is by far better.
Casey's is better.
Anybody
Yeah,
ever been to a 612? I'm serious. We had 612 around here for a little while, but then they started closing down.
Did they get hit with copyright strike?
No, I think they got hit with too many robberies because they were usually in pretty crappy neighborhoods.
In Arizona and Southern California, they have AM, PM. You ever hear those?
Yeah, I've heard of those.
Yep, I've
Read
heard
those in Texas.
So does the 612? Is that your place where you buy your glass pipes and your dirty books and all that stuff there? That sounds like one that would have that.
They
And,
sell you a little rose in a glass pipe.
and no
Yeah.
ethanol gas.
Reason.
And if you ask the right person, they might sell you some potpourri.
A little bit of Brillo pad and a lighter.
Some potpourri.
Yeah, Come and Go's a good store now. Come and Go's are nice.
We
Isn't that
got
up in
Get and
Yankees
Go's.
Woods? The Come and Go?
Hmm.
And up in the Yankees part of the country is the Come and Goes?
Come and Go's are in the Midwest.
They're also in Oklahoma.
We are kind of the Midwest. They're based out of the Midwest, though.
Kind of like the definition of the Midwest, isn't it?
Yeah. We're not really anything. Oklahoma's not the South. It's not the Midwest. It's just like
You're not the South, no.
Great Plains.
it's just like nowhere. Great Plains isn't even a place. Western Oklahoma maybe is the Great Plains. Eastern Oklahoma is more Arkansas. What's Arkansas? Arkansas, Missouri. What do they fall into? Midwest.
Sawyers.
They kind of fell into their own thing.
It's
I'd say
Come and Go
Arkansas,
spelled with
I'd say
K-U-N.
Arkansas is the South.
It's the
And
Ozark.
Missouri is the Midwest.
Okay, so we're between the South and the Midwest. Yeah, we're kind of just in there.
it's flyover country. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
It's a good part of the country.
God's country.
Yeah, I imagine all those people in the Midwest when they see the planes flying from east to coast, they wave and say, "Thanks for not stopping."
They're all spelling it wrong out there. It's literally spelled like this. I'm sure if I go look at my truck or somewhere, I probably have a Come and Go cup or wrapper or something.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I've seen them.
I stop there all the time.
Sure you do.
I do. They have good pretzel, sausage, egg, and cheese sandwiches for breakfast.
I just typed come and go into my Google search. Warning: don't do that.
I'm gonna go do it. Should I be screen sharing when I do it?
Did you
That is
spell it
frowned,
correctly?
frowned upon in a lot of places.
Quick, make more noise. Make more noise in the
You got
background.
people making noise in your house again, Sarge? Tell Mrs. Sarge we said hi.
Right after he tells her something else that's not nearly as nice. He's giving her the same look your wife was giving you the other day. In that
She
picture.
wasn't giving that look to me. She was giving
Yeah, I
that
have a
look to
feeling she was.
Take my advice. Give him the bird.
See? Come and Go.
Hashtag bird is the word.
But I went to comeandgo.com, not anything else.
Oh, uh-huh. Sure you did.
I mean, I have those other ones saved also, but
Well, of course you would.
Of course you do.
I need to join the Andrew Rewards. I keep saying I'm going to do this. This is the perfect time to do it.
What are you doing with Pornhub on one of your tabs anyway?
Don't worry about
Who
that.
doesn't have Pornhub on one of their tabs?
You get tired of making noise. Hit the
He's
center of the
like,
screen.
1. It should be on about 5.
There you go. You got to lean down. Get your face in there. Say hi.
There's one uppercase. And
Hi.
why do they make their passwords
There you go.
Hi, Mrs. Sarge.
Oh.
I've been assaulted.
Yeah, it looked like it was just. Do you need us to call and have a welfare check?
Don't do that.
Sounds like it.
You gonna throw a cat at you or what?
Quick, someone call Boomer and tell him he needs to go give Sarge a welfare check.
George is concerned now.
Oh, I just got a. Olight apparently is having a flash sale.
Oh, I couldn't have imagined them doing that after looking at my YouTube subscription page.
Picked up the crazy cat and things went sideways.
I told Gary just a little while ago. I was like, "Oh, Olight must be having a sale today."
Go like having a sale.
Have you not been on YouTube?
I know I haven't.
You get on YouTube, you'll see that they are.
Oh, everybody in the world's doing a review and has a discount code.
Yep. This is the why I use Olight sale.
In all seriousness, the I guess it's the Warrior M2. I think it's what it is. The one I have at work is absolutely fantastic.
I mean,
That's one that, like 2,000 lumens.
No, it's small. It's like that long. Fits in this little holster I have. It's cool. It's like $100. Hey, tomorrow, I got to change the time. I don't think I can do it at noon. I'll have to do it at 1. My Alpha Outpost box will be here. I got the notification. It will be here tomorrow. So I want to open it up and do a live unboxing like within an hour of getting it.
Sarge Fine Ape wants you to know that in Tulsa, a flying pussy would cost you $350.
Do what now?
In Tulsa, a flying pussy would cost you $350.
oh my God, Gary, really?
What?
Really?
What do we have? Oh, I don't have the side chat. Oh, I don't see it though.
I didn't do anything. What the hell are you yelling at me for?
I don't know. He's yelling at you.
So what are we talking about tonight?
I have no idea. Well, I thought we'd talk about the fact that apparently Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden are racist.
Uh-oh. What have they done?
Is this the AOC nonsense?
Oh, yeah. Of course it is.
It couldn't have come
Where
at a
else
better
would you
time.
think that nonsense would be coming from?
Oh, Gary really doesn't know. It's really not Gary.
What did they do that she didn't like that she had to just say that? That's the only thing you say.
Well, like the day before her and AOC got into it, Nancy Pelosi was talking about Donald Trump wanted to make America white again. And
Who
then
said
like
that?
Nancy Pelosi said that.
See, that's what pisses me off is people will say that and then somebody else is going to get mad at Trump because of that when he didn't have anything to do with it.
Well, they had one of their DNC, and I guess maybe if I get it wrong, Obnoxious can correct me on it, but they had like their little DNC meeting or whatever, and apparently Nancy Pelosi kind of tried to put AOC and her friends in their place and said there's only 4 of them. It's not like these are the majority. They're 4 peons basically. And AOC said that Nancy Pelosi's a racist.
Just because she doesn't like her. You can not like an individual.
She's been singling out the squad, I guess, as they're called, which is her and the 2 Muslims, the one from Michigan, the one from Minnesota, and then there's some black girl in there that woman. Sorry, I don't want to be a sexist and call her a girl. Especially if you got G in here now. He's gonna come to her defense, but I don't even know who the black woman is. I've never seen her, never heard anything from her. But the 4 of them are supposedly the squad, and AOC came out after getting a butt chewing by Nancy Pelosi.
It's the mentality.
It's identity politics running wild, and Nancy Pelosi.
Anything you don't like this, that's just because you don't like me, or it has no merit. Sometimes the ideas that she's putting out there are just silly and have no merit. And somebody says something, it has to be a bigger issue. It has to be racism. No, it doesn't. It's a stupid idea.
Yeah, basically all Nancy Pelosi was doing was telling them to stop twittering out bad things about other people in our party who we're supposed to be working with. And AOC called her a racist for doing it.
Mm-hmm. Said that she's singling out the 4 women of color.
I'm surprised she didn't call her a sexist. That would make more sense.
Give her time.
Yeah, she'll get there. I have confidence in her.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and of course,
I don't, but that's a different story.
Oh, you don't have confidence that she'll get to calling Nancy a sexist?
No, I don't think she's that stupid.
It's really not outside the realm of possibility. It's not.
It's already happens. They call conservative women sexist every single day. They say that your husbands tell you what to do, and you sit there pretty, and you vote for who they tell you to, and you do what your boss says, because they treat
the
conservative women like that all day, every day.
That is the definition of sexism, by just completely undermining her opinion by saying it's someone else. That's the definition of it.
No, that's the definition of a wife. That's why I have a wife, so I can tell her what the hell to do. She can go make me a sandwich and vote for who
By
I
that girl,
Whatever.
by AOC saying that, well, you're just sexist because your husband must be telling you what to do. That's completely dismissing that person that said it.
I'll be
That's
right back. You're gonna lock my office door.
Oh my God.
That's okay.
Gotta lock the deadbolt too.
Oh.
Yeah, the bad thing is she has a key to this.
They call Candace Owens a white supremacist. They call Ben Shapiro a white supremacist.
Yeah.
Well, they call Ben Shapiro a Nazi.
True, even worse.
While he's wearing his yarmulke, they call him a Nazi.
And then
If you
when they're
didn't know,
not calling him a
got
Nazi,
really
they're
dark
calling him
hair.
a Zionist.
He's got really dark hair, but he always has it on.
But you know what? You know what he said? He did not see that coming.
Because he wasn't at come and go.
Ooh.
Wow, that's just amazing. Maybe we should have like a
Oh, great. She heard it.
not inappropriate, but a non-applicable insult bracket. Like where they're calling the other senators, the females, sexist, or nah, never mind.
Oh, did you see the one? This was a couple years ago, but I want to say he's out of South Carolina, and he's in the Senate. He's a senator, and he's black. And somebody called him a house.
Oh no!
Somebody on Twitter called him a house, and he wrote back one word: Senate.
Oh, did you put a little asterisk beside it?
That's Tim Scott. He's
Yeah,
from South Carolina. He's a solid dude.
Mm-hmm.
Did you put an asterisk beside it?
Did you hear what Mitch McConnell? A reporter asked Mitch McConnell if he supported reparations, and they found out that like Mitch McConnell's sixth power great grandfather owned slaves, and he was like, "So do you support reparations?" And he was like, he said, "Barack Obama and I have two things in common now. Our great grandparents owned slaves, and neither one of us support reparations."
Ouch. Ow.
The best one is, did you see a couple? I think it was yesterday, before, where Kamala Harris's dad came out and was saying about their ancestors were slave owners.
Do what?
Yeah, Kamala Harris is her ancestors, and not like ancient ancestors, like not nearly as long ago as Mitch McConnell's apparently, but her family line owned slaves.
Yeah, it was like her great grandfather, I think, was a slave owner.
Well, for them, they'll say it's okay, and it's not. It doesn't reflect on them, but for everybody else, it will reflect on them.
Well, this is either the second or the third time Kamala Harris's father's come out and said that she's not getting my support, basically.
Yeah, he does not support her at all.
Yeah, well, she was the other one. She was the one that was going after creepy Uncle Joe for being racist.
I wish y'all quit calling my Uncle Joe creepy. He's a super good guy.
What did he do racist this week?
It wasn't this week. It was years ago, because everything Joe has ever done other than be creepy was years ago, and that was work with segregationists to get stuff passed.
Yeah, and he didn't support busing students from one area to another for school.
He did or didn't?
I don't think he supported federally busing. He supported state, or it's the other way around, one or the other.
Yeah, he didn't support the federal law regarding that.
But he supported the state laws regarding busing.
Yeah, he said it was up to the states and municipalities that he said the federal government should be involved in it, and that makes him a racist.
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't need reparations for bacon. We just need a skillet for bacon. Jason.
You should go look up his interview he did with Chris Cuomo.
I'd rather not.
Oh, it's funny, man. He hits one of his best "come on, man" that you've ever heard. It's a riot.
So I'm just wondering if, and what gets me about Joe is everything is, Barack and I, my friend Barack, Barack and I. That's all he's trying to ride in. And I hate to tell you this, but your time for riding that in was the last election, and you stepped aside for Hillary.
I'm sorry, but the only good thing about him running is going to be the resurgence of Joe Biden memes, because those are some of my favorite.
They're kind
Who
of.
said they ever left?
But I mean, they're going to be popular again. We're going to see more of them and new ones. Those are some of my favorite Joe Biden memes. Let's just look some up.
Yeah, and I saw Warsaw Patriot wanted Kingpin to bring up that Eric Swallwell.
He threw in the towel, didn't he?
Yeah, he threw in the towel.
Yeah, I've been seeing. Have you seen the stupid little Mark Safe things on Facebook?
Yeah,
Everybody's Mark Safe from nuclear.
Rupan did when I saw that come up on Instagram. Yeah. Mark Safe from being nuked by Eric Swallwell. So that guy is such.
Are you concerned that
boy retired?
Are you concerned that he might still have the codes though?
I don't think he ever had the codes. I've seen him. Tucker Carlson usually gets him on and goes after him pretty good. That boy ain't bright.
I don't think that guy knows the code to his locker.
He's probably got an RFID key so he can get into it.
Seven's really trying out there.
What's he trying?
Well, Stacy said bye to Mad Sexy, said later sexy, and he goes, wife, I'm not leaving. What are you blaming me for, Jason? I didn't steal nobody's land.
Yeah.
Bought it fair and square.
I'm looking forward to the resurgence of all the Joe Biden memes. Him and Barack.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just
what's that about?
They're just great.
Yeah, well, the problem is when you're running by yourself, you're Barackless.
Maybe Barack's going to be his vice president. Is that legal? Can you have a former president?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
you can.
that
That's
can
good.
work.
I don't
Yes,
know.
you can. If Joe dies in office, Barack would be president again.
Oh no, because he couldn't serve. He would only be able to serve another 2 years. So if they were halfway through, say Biden were to serve 2 terms, then he could put Barack as his vice president. And if something happened then he could be, because the way that it's written, the president can serve 2 terms or a maximum of 10 years by serving out half of a term of the president they were vice president for.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't researched the.
Or he could just change on that with executive decision while he was in there. Right?
Do that look. Look at that look. Present him.
Is it because you snapped? Because of that?
It's because he's darkest.
See, he's got dogs that are like mine. They're assholes. Not everybody has a mellow.
I have to get quite often to make sure she's still alive and still here. So.
My dogs, you don't ever have to do that with, because every 2 seconds they have to run outside the door barking at something.
Oh yeah,
the little one, the big one. Hey, whatever. The little one barks at herself. I mean, they can literally watch me walk to the door and they start barking at me like I just walked in. Just what?
my mom had one. And my stepdad would come home from work exactly every night at 11:30. I mean, exactly, not 11:30 and 5 seconds. It was 11:30. And every time that key hit the door, that dog would go nuts.
Did you ever see a Chihuahua put in front of a mirror?
Oh, no. Go absolutely apeshit.
I mean, I think that dog was going to foam at the mouth and fall over dead the way they get it.
Does that dog, like, if you walk outside and walk right back in, just go crazy like you just showed up? Because I can walk out on the porch if I'm doing something or been working on something, close the door just so the cat doesn't get out. Come back in 5 seconds later just because I need to pick up something, 10 seconds, and the dog bark like I just showed up, like I'm a stranger coming to the door. Like, you just watched me walk out seconds ago.
.38 Super Partisan says his 5 conspire on whose turn it is to start barking. Mine don't do that. I've got Harley, and it's always his turn to start barking, and then the other 2 join in. Uh-oh. What we got going on out here? We got a snob P11 coming in.
What did he do?
Whichever one of you bastards is Snob B11 just got timed out, so I'm saying.
Do anything. He just said hi, Sarge. Hi, Gun Snob.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's jealous.
It's one of you. It's one of you in this group text. I know. I just don't know which one.
Not it.
I already got blamed for it, and I didn't do it.
I haven't seen C4 Defense out there in the chat, and I've seen him typing, so I wonder if it's him.
You haven't seen me typing anything.
Yeah, I've seen something. Oh, yeah, you're
Probably
busy yelling at the dog and the wife.
So it's not him.
I could type like Kramer. Just pretend.
So what has everybody tried for streaming? I think we're probably settled on Streamlab, but I've
You mean
had
StreamYard?
StreamYard.
Sorry, the duck. We've settled on the duck.
Whoa, who settled on that? Who's got $240 a year to be buying that?
Well, it's free. You just they put their branding up in the.
Oh, you're going with the duck version, the free version.
Yeah.
Gary's not. He's a duckist, so he removed the duck.
Did he get some kind of poultry discount or what?
Oh yeah. It's
Some sort of like squawks and quacks at each other, and all of a sudden it's free.
he's gonna have them on foul territory.
Yeah.
Right in. I know we tried. Was it Snob Gary and I tried? Who was? Oh, Rupan came in with us, and we tried Skype and OBS, and that was just a nightmare.
So because of the connection was poor, or because the interface was clunky, or what reasons why? There's no one said. Everybody's been saying Skype is bad. Like tons of people that use Skype, which is why I even ask. Otherwise, I would just ignore it.
We have to add each person on the call in as a separate window in OBS using a NDI plugin. And then every time anybody would turn their camera off or on, it would resize the window and reposition it on the screen.
Okay. And I would just say NDI plugin. Is that something like?
And that's with which one?
Or do you have to do something complicated each time?
Well, the NDI plugin allows OBS to communicate with Skype. So basically, each person on the call has their own window. You add them as a browser
Oh my gosh.
object in OBS, and then you have to resize the window. And it works great at first until somebody turns their camera off, and then it makes their window go super huge. And sometimes it'll make other people's go really tiny postage stamp size. I was constantly having to resize windows.
Okay, so that's OBS having to allocate screen or deal with real estate on the screen. So has anybody tried Skype and XSplit? Because that would be a different piece of software doing that.
Either way, the problem with Skype is if you don't have good internet, it's not going to work because you have to pull the Skype into your broadcasting software, whether it be XSplit or OBS. And whoever's on your panel, you have to pull their video in, and then you are feeding it back out.
Yeah, like a separate connection for each Skype. So now you've got like 10 different lines just for, you see, both in and out for everybody that's in there, or 6 or whatever.
Yeah, Ghost and Clover were trying XSplit with Skype a couple nights ago on their Ghost and Clover show when they were having all kinds of issues with audio and whatnot with it.
And that was another thing we had with the OBS and Skype was echoes and everything on it. And it's one of those things that, to me, the biggest thing is with my internet is pulling everything in and then having to put it back out. It's not going to happen with mine. So StreamYard is probably, well, I should say, definitely the thing I'm going to have to go with. Like, it kind of sucks that you're only going to get 6 panelists, and I mean, you can have 10, but then 4 of them are backstage. You can only have 6 on at a time.
That's not that big a thing. Most of the time, it's people sitting around that section.
Yeah. And then, what was it, Snob? If you screen shared, that took up one of the spots, so that would push somebody.
Everybody's screen share is a separate slot. But you can also kick you off if you're going to screen share. You can replace yourself, but you're a slot out of the 10. Seems dumb.
Yeah. So go ahead.
I was just saying, it's just they give you features, so that's how they deal with those features, I guess.
Yeah, and StreamYard would probably be the one that's closest to what most of us are used to with Hangouts that look like.
Now, everybody's going on the assumption that there's going to be no Hangouts, and I don't agree with that one. I think we're still going to have all kinds of versions of Hangouts. They're just not going to connect to our YouTube channels live. So I think we'll still have this particular room. If not, people are convinced that with those, what is it called? Google Meet, that if you pay for Meet, then like Snob, he ain't used to paying for Meet, but if you start paying for Meet, then you're going to get up to 25 to 100 people in a room. Am I crazy? So I don't agree with that interpretation, but I know people are thinking that. So we could just have to deal with a new thing, like whatever it is, either OBS, XSplit, or Duck, and then still have this. So we don't need Skype. Although, would anybody use Duck if you still had Hangouts? Because OBS Hangouts is the way to go, right? OBS and Hangouts is free.
I think that Duck has a lot of features, even the free version, that Hangouts doesn't have. But you have to
It does, and it's not on your computer, which was what I like. Because XSplit, I did buy it, and it's on my machine, but my machine is so old that it barely works. Like, I can't connect well. So I like how Duck is up on the browser. It's up on the cloud. Cloud Duck. It's a flying duck.
And if Hangouts is still tied into where you have to use a third-party software, then I'm still going to be running into the same issue. And I would imagine Yankee will too, because he's on DSL up there too, right?
I don't know what it is, but it's something poor, right? Not as good, not stable, or not strong.
Yeah. So I think.
What, Night Strike just goes live from your stream?
Is he? Is he on the Duck?
Yeah, I'm not testing out StreamYard. I'm testing out. I've got GunTube able to stream from the GunTube Hangout that I've got directly to YouTube. I've got it working somewhat. It doesn't work. It didn't work well, and you can't have multiple streams. That's the only problem. It's only one stream at a time.
And it causes tetanus. But aside from that, if you got your shots, like, use it.
Yeah, G-Webs has all his shots. He's fine.
So what you're saying is, if we used GunTube, we couldn't get quarked.
Yeah, essentially. But again, the hardware I'm running this stuff off of is old hardware, so I'm probably gonna have to get like an Amazon server just to be able to host this stuff. And at that point, that's spending money for it that I'll never get back. So yeah, I don't know if I want to do that.
Well, apparently you need to get some WD-40 because everybody in the GunTube when is crapping about it buffering.
Are you buffering over there?
Yeah, it's buffering a bit. I don't know if it's still working or not. You're not receiving data from your encoder. That's why. It's still experimental. That's the other problem.
No. Night Strike. It's beta.
It's beta.
For this.
It is definitely beta. Yes.
How much do you charge for the opportunity to run your beta software, to be on your beta test panel?
I don't charge anything at all right now because I don't have a test panel.
And you need to bottle up your salesmanship and sell that stuff, man.
I know, I do, but again,
I can see it over there, but it doesn't look like it's switching between anybody. It's just got me.
yeah,
Okay.
it's I don't know if
I'm
it's
afraid.
it's
That could be
buffering.
me or you.
I don't know if it's working or not. So, guys, thanks
Good.
for at least listening to me. Yeah.
I think William Keller said it. It says Night Strike, if you build it, they will stream.
They probably will build it. They'll stream if I build it. But the problem is having the funding to build it is not there. So,
How much will it cost?
I don't know. Probably like $100 a month, at least.
So 2 gun tube patches a month.
Probably. Well, no. I've for a limited time the GunTube patches are $25 a piece on the GunTube store. Only in limited time and only in limited quantity. So
It's a shame you didn't have a link and a show that you were on where maybe there were like 20 people watching, where you could probably put that out. And
yeah, it's a shame, but you know, go to guntube.org. We've got a support link at the top of the page. You know, check that out.
you know people are lazy, right? And you should probably put the link in the chat or ask Gary to do it for you.
Yes,
Gary
I do.
drops links for everybody.
Yes, I do. All right. Gotta go over to your
If people
chat.
have to go out there and actually search for it, you know that your probability of it happening drops drastically.
You're damned if you do and damned if you don't sometimes. So, you know how that works.
Helping you is like getting kicked in the balls.
Well, you're an expert on that, aren't you?
Getting kicked in the balls sometimes, yes, I feel like it.
Like, excuse me, ma'am, you've dropped your handkerchief, and then the cops get called on you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And tapped me on the shoulder. You've molested me. That's only if it's AOC that dropped her handkerchief.
Well, there's the link there for the store.
There
If
you
anybody
go.
wants to buy any patches or stickers or magnets or coasters, because I have all of that for sale right now.
Listen to that salesmanship. She's right.
Yeah, so.
She's right. You should bottle that up.
So what you're doing though, is what we're trying to say is you're trying to raise funds to build the platform, right? Like these
Exactly. I'm trying to raise funds, and
So
this is what I have available to help raise those funds. But unfortunately, without those funds, nothing can happen.
Well, let's talk about your platform. Let's talk about it, and let's not go with woe is me, I need to do this. Let's talk about the platform and what you can do with it and what it could be, and that this is a way for people to help you out and make you achieve and help you achieve this. So give us a little bit of mid-afternoon strike instead of deepest, darkest night strike.
What he's saying is, don't dream it, be it.
So deepest dark night strike. I had not realized that I was Bruce Wayne, but okay, we'll go with that. I'm sorry, I just found that funny. Okay, give me specifics.
You don't have to be all puppy dogs and sunshine, but you've got to be a little more positive about it and put it out there as something you're trying to create and something you're trying to do and a possibility for this community to grow and get better and stronger, and you just need a little bit of help doing it.
Maybe look at it this way. You're building GunTube. The patches and the stickers and whatever thing else you got are catalysts to that end. So we're saying, talk about the thing that you're actually building, and then, and if you want to support it, got these patches over here.
Okay.
Is an approach. Instead of just trying to get people to buy a $50 patch who consider the patch a commodity and who would suggest that you can get a patch for $4 or $2 at Walmart if it's just brought over here, in a cargo container allotment.
Maybe from China, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're just looking at a way to repair your pants, $50 is an obscene amount. But if you're looking at it that you're trying to effort to something that costs thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars, and you're not able or willing to do it in a way that quote unquote sells out to somebody, so you're not getting funded by any venture capitalists or what do they call it when somebody's an angel investor. So you're doing it with this process. So instead of focusing on, I have a patch for sale for $50 and competing with the mindset that it's a $50 piece of commodity, we're suggesting maybe go with the approach that it's GunTube that you're trying to build and use that as the message. Because isn't that what you're trying to do? You're trying to build a community on GunTube or a platform, a tool on GunTube, right?
Yeah, I am. It's just I'm not good at trying to sell things like this, and it's hard. And you're giving me a lot of good ideas, and I appreciate it. I'm not good at selling things. Okay, it's never been my strong point. So, but yeah, I'm trying to build GunTube right now. I need help. I need help with hardware. I need help with software. I need help with literally everything. Right now, GunTube's a one-man operation where, at most we have a prototype website up right now. We have prototype, we have a prototype, Google Hangouts-esque type chat, which if you don't need to go live, it'll work just for that. But right now, the Hangout part, trying to get it to go to Google, I'm having some problems with that, and it sucks that I'm having problems, but I'm powering on through. But
why don't you try to tell us a little bit about the features that you do have right now? Because I think GunTube is a pretty decent site. So explain to people what kind of video stuff you got going on. And
right now we have videos where you can go and you can upload a video from YouTube, directly. You can upload the video directly. You can even embed a YouTube video, which I'm still on the fence about that one. We're still letting it happen, but I'm on the fence about that one because it's just adding more. It's just linking, and I don't know whether YouTube will go after me for that in the future or not. So we're still out letting you do that though, because it's a feature.
Well, YouTube allows you to embed on
websites.
That's part of your
right.
Crap in your creator studio in your channel stuff.
You can embed a video on a place, right? You can do that, and you can do it to some level. It's sort of like you can build guns in your home, to some level. And once that line gets crossed, now you're doing something that's not okay. And the line would be if you took YouTube and just embedded it on a page, like a frame that had a bunch of ads all around it. So you're not messing with the YouTube and its ad, but you're putting it nested into a bunch of other ads. I'm pretty sure they get pissed about that. So when you build just farms that harvest videos and display them like that.
Right. Yeah. They get a little pissy about that.
And things that mimic that behavior is what that's worried about.
I don't want them to get angry, but again, not really that I care what they think. But again, you have the standard thing where if you need notifications, if you want to comment on videos, if you want to thumbs up or thumbs down a video, we've got that. We've got that implementation in there. I don't have a message system in place yet because that's not really what we're doing. You can still go live on GunTube, but the issue is I'm having issues with the software, so it's not saving the live stream, but you can go live and people can comment on a side chat on the live as well. So those are the features right now.
Can I get a little nerdy question that you might not be able to answer because it might be long and drawn out? But do you write code to start GunTube, or did you like just get a CD and pop it in your computer and upload some type of program? Like, how did it start?
Well, I already have dedicated servers already, so it started by me taking one of the servers I already have hosted at a data center, which I am already paying for bandwidth and space. I went and looked for software that I could not copy Google, but emulate. And I say emulate because Google was starting to get, with the first adpocalypse hit, they were starting to go iffy on the whole gun videos. So I decided to start tinkering around, seeing if I could find some software that I could upload onto one of these servers and start running my own YouTube, more or less. And I found some open source software that allowed me to do that. And while the software doesn't do it well enough. But I'm making do with what I do know how to do. I know a little bit of coding, but not a lot. So I can get by with some of the problems I'm being hit with, and some of the problems I can't get by because it's out of my area of expertise. Does that answer that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't really understand a lot of the words that you said because I don't know about computers, but I get the idea.
I found some software that I could just install it on my server and just start hosting a website, more or less.
It's
How
not
long ago?
To the store and you buy a server thing, right? I mean, you can kind of go to the store and buy a server thing, but you can also go to the store and buy an erector set or Lego set, and then like somebody will have figured out how to build a video hosting site out of that erector set. So what Nightstrike did is basically get something that a bunch of people have figured out works and are all kind of pitching in to make sure that model or that machine that they built out of the the common parts, that it works and it functions. So he had a machine, he knew about that concept, he found something that would work for him, put it on his machine, so he has an instance of that. So it's like he went out and got all the necessary pieces of Lego or erector set, put them together in that same way, and now he's doing a version of what he is doing GunTube like that. So it's not like he went to the store and just bought GunTube fill in the blank.org or something, like somethingtube.org. You just fill in the blank and drop it down. But it's
Right.
But it's not quite. He took a bunch of raw lumber and built his own house either.
Yeah, think building an AR if it's a little too complicated with Legos. Think building an AR exactly like that. I had to get piece by piece, put it together, use my keyboard instead of an AR wrench, and there we go. I have GunTube. Or an AR-15 at that point.
Dead Horse wants to know if you know about the Al Gore's rhythms.
I do know about Al Gore's rhythms, and
he discovered them. Dead Horse, come on.
And I want to set the record straight. GunTube is Al Gore rhythm free. So there are no Al Gore rhythms on GunTube.
What is that?
Because that would imply that GunTube is biased on the searches that happen on GunTube, and it is not.
It would also imply that Al Gore can dance. Have you seen that man try and dance? He can't dance.
Oh man,
that's a question that I have for you as well. How much more difficult is it to host like a GunTube to where you don't have to, you're not putting on restrictions on building guns and reloading and other cool stuff like YouTube does? Like, does that make it more difficult or does that make it easier?
Well, it's
like saying I want to so there's this really cool shopping mall that everybody likes, and it's called YouTube, and you can park in the parking lot and you can go in the front door and you can look at all the shops and you can visit as many as you want and you can go in and out, right? And then Night Strike was like, that's great, except they're not letting some stores in the mall anymore, and they're being weird about, how we can talk to each other when we're in the mall or whatever. So Night Strike went out and built another building. So Night Strike had some business. He had some buildings. He built GunTube out of one of his offices or a couple of his offices, let's say. Now you're asking him, how difficult is it to build a mall? Well, I mean, depends. Are you going to try to build something at scale? That's ridiculous. Nobody can actually build it. If you try to emulate it, what you got? A couple of examples that exist. What is it called? Full 30 says that they spend $10,000 a month in hosting. So if you look at something the size of Full 30, it's costing them at least $10,000 a month just to keep the doors open. Not to mention whatever they pay out to contributors and all the other expenses besides hosting. That's just one. That's like having just your electricity cost that much. Like all your other bills come in, plus you got just labor and everything, multiple people. So the answer to that question is pretty much difficult to answer because it's just open.
Yeah. So exactly what G-Web said. It's like you're asking me, how do I build a YouTube? And I don't know. I've gotten this far as with GunTube. I mean, there's no the unfortunate problem with building a video hosting site like YouTube is there's no instructions on how to do it. Okay, yeah, maybe if you had $1 million, you wouldn't be as as bad off as I am, but again, you still wouldn't know what the hell you're doing because there's no one's written an instruction book on how to make YouTube. There's no instructions. It's pretty much make it up as you go, unfortunately, and that's some of the challenges I've been dealing with because I've never done this before. This is the first venture into trying to host your own or host others' videos.
When did you start up GunTube?
Late 2017, actually. Before Gunstreamer even, and I was working on it in the background. I was testing some of the software because the software was a little raw at that point. I wasn't prepared to, actually go and make the site live. I've been working on it off and on, and I had showed G-Webs it a couple times before, and G-Webs was, he wasn't quite sure what to make of it then, but once everything started happening, last year, everything just kind of fell into place. So, and I mean that with the adpocalypse, right after we got back from Wanamaker last year.
Okay, so you've got less than 2 years into it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a learning process for you, and
it has been 100% of the way.
And it's going to continue to be a learning process, and probably will always be some kind of a learning process.
Yeah. But we learn things by experiencing them, and some of us do. And if we don't do anything, then we don't learn, or some of us at least.
I don't want to learn.
You're learning about all kinds of free guns.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
Speaking of that, Ben, you brought it up. I'm just going to say, let's see. My video is at 742 views.
Why didn't I see that coming?
I'm trying to 1,000 views in the first 48 hours. So,
And Gun Loving Grandpa is asking if Full 30 has live streaming. Full 30 does not have live streaming.
And Full 30 doesn't allow just anybody to come on there.
No, but they allow, big chickens like Gizzard Gary on. It's like, how did Gizzard Gary get on and everybody else gets snubbed?
Wow.
My channel's been reserved over there for a year, and it'll be opening soon.
Mine has been reserved for 2 years. So
Yeah, it will not be
See,
opening.
you can go over to GunTube right now and start up a channel.
you can upload a video or two, or embed some of your YouTube videos that you've already done.
Or 800. You can upload 800 over there.
No, not 800. I can't support 800. But
per hour.
oh god, you guys gonna crash GunTube. I'm gonna be crying soon.
But if we crash it, then you can go out and tell people about how many accounts you got over there that you got so many that you crashed it.
Or just Travis P11.
Or just Travis P11. Yeah.
Well, he's got something like 800 videos too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He does. So.
Well, that'll when we're taking a lunch break, he can put up his 800.
Oh boy. Yeah.
But
I'm really looking forward to that.
I think you can sell it, and I think you can get yourself a little bit more funding for it. You just gotta, like I said, you gotta be a little more mid-afternoon strike and not so deepest, darkest night strike. You gotta be a little more positive about it. You're creating a commodity here that people are gonna that you want. You got to make them want it. And part of what you're going to be able to sell that is that YouTube doesn't let just everything on there, that they restrict stuff, whether it's, shadow banning stuff or, pushing stuff down.
Yeah. And there's also the other thing, YouTube doesn't like you doing reloading videos or building AR videos anymore. Did you hear about that?
Oh yeah, they went after them, and then they went after everybody that had Snob said he saw it, that it was Optics Planet was the one that was getting everybody banned, but you got to be careful about who where you put links in for. And
yeah. Well, here's the thing on GunTube, if you have reloading videos or AR building videos or even a series on reloading or building ARs, we don't take them down.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will now be making an 800 video series on building an AR.
Oh. I think Yoder Texas did like a 20-part video series, so why don't you go watch that one first and then just add on to that?
What did he do? Every single piece he put in?
Yeah, he did it.
Individual videos.
He literally did every single piece.
It's like 10-second video. It's 20 10-second videos.
No. You got to have an introduction.
Oh yeah. You got to have
everything.
And the thing is, every video had an introduction and an outro. But you know what? At least he uploaded the videos onto GunTube, and it worked.
And crashed the server, and
no, that didn't crash the server.
And ruined my life.
No, remember, we're not uploading our entire YouTube archive to GunTube just yet, because we're not GunTube is not VidMe, and you guys aren't Travis P11.
Now, 38 Super Partisan out there has just thrown in the $1 million idea, the million video idea that's gonna make you go absolutely viral.
It's gonna make Gary go over the top.
Well, yeah, you need to get Cats building AR-15 videos on there. Or Cats reloading.
My cat is camera shy, but I think we might be able to get Gizzard Gary to get George to reload. What do you think, Gary?
Well, first I'd have to wake him up, but
can you get him? Can you get him to make his paw pull the lever at least?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know about his maw, but his paw will do it.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Carolina EDC Reviews is saying at Night Strike, watch Tactical Toolbox. He explains what you can and cannot do on YouTube. Yeah, well, I really don't care what you can and cannot do on YouTube because I'm working on GunTube, where you aren't limited by what YouTube says. You're limited by what Night Strike says, or what technically the GunTube policy says, which if there's guns in the video, then, and I mean real guns, I don't mean toy guns. I mean, if there's real guns in the video, then they belong on GunTube, period. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It's like if you're taking your kids to the range, great. If you're helping your kids build an AR, great. If your kid is taking part in a CMP shooting competition, hey, go for it. I mean, literally any activity, sport, or you just playing, or you just upgrading one of your firearms, reloading, building a firearm, hell, even completing an 80% lower receiver. That's what belongs on GunTube.
That right there. That's what you sell. You've got it all there. You know what to put out there. You've got all the ingredients. Now you just need to get with Midnight Range and have him tell you how to mix them up to make the best meal out of it.
Oh man, that means I have to rub elbows with Midnight Range TM.
I didn't say you had to rub anything with him. You just got to talk. But seriously, you've got all the ingredients. You've got your pitch. You just need to get out there with that. You need to get out there, and GunTube is the place for anything and everything gun related, and it will not be restricted. It won't be pushed down. It won't be hidden.
Okay.
And get that out there, and not so much of the doom and gloom and I'm barely getting by. You're starting something up. You're either barely getting by or losing money for a while. That's just how it goes. And you either decide whether you want to keep going and make it work, or you're going to walk away from it. So you need to make that decision and move from there. So do you want to make it? You want to make it work? Do you want to keep it going, make it work? And
I do. I really want to make it work. I really want to go to the next level. It's just I need the push, and I need some backup on getting to that next level.
Then get out there and bust your ass and do it. Tell people about it. You don't have to have money. You just have to have will. Money will come.
Not always.
Well, it don't come if you don't get out there and try to find it.
That's true. That's true. So. I'm reading the YouTube chat. Read Scott Beat 79's question.
that's a fair point. Mm-hmm. Did you have the stash before or after Super Troopers?
Oh, when did Super
Ramrod
Troopers come out?
Years ago.
99, 2000, somewhere in there, probably 2002 maybe.
Yeah, way after. This is only like 4 or 5 years I had.
Oh yeah, Super Troopers been out long.
Way after.
2001.
There you go. The views expressed by Carolina EDC Reviews are the views of Carolina EDC Reviews, and the views of Carolina EDC Reviews only. Do not reflect the reviews of the panel or myself. So no, don't go out and lick ice cream at some grocery store.
Why is anybody licking ice cream on the 11th day of July, which is 7/11, which means that Slurpees are free?
I don't know. You'd have to ask the woman that went and licked the ice cream. I don't think she did it on the 11th day of July, though. That was probably a couple weeks ago? Like that?
No, the 11th day of July was today. Sorry.
There's a bunch of those videos out there of people doing
I
that.
think
kind
he
of
meant
stuff.
they licked the ice cream a couple.
Oh, really? Really? I know he meant that. Sarcasm.
What is this sarcasm you speak of?
I thought you were just being
unfamiliar
Night
with
Strike. I thought it was Night Strike saying it. I didn't realize it was Sarge.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm unfamiliar with this sarcasm that you speak of.
Yeah.
It's like a second language.
Hmm. Is it like Farsi? Sarcasm.
Sarcasm.
Hashtag sarcasm.
Now, sarcasm's not as crazy as people that speak Farsi.
All right. So what else we got? We've run the hell out of GunTube. GunTube.org. Go over there, sign up, drop 800 videos. May work. The
There,
GunTube.
I put the link out there.
There you go.
I'll give you $1 for it.
No.
You can get one of those over on GunTube.org for $25 and help Night Strike build his gun-friendly platform where anything gun-related is fine. You can build polymer 80s. You can put together ARs. You can reload. You can give reloading recipes out over there.
It's true.
All that kind of good stuff over there on GunTube.org.
Can we learn how to kill vampiric 1911s?
Yes, even that. Yes.
Does it involve garlic or a steak?
How are you going to
Garlic.
kill the 1911?
Garlic steak.
It involves Tula.
Garlic crusted steak to kill a vampire 9/11. There, now we've made food chat.
Midnight Range is not far behind.
He was here.
I did not see him here earlier.
He was here. He was right. He was here right when you had to start rubbing.
Yeah, he had something about lotion. I don't know.
Yep. Said I'll grab the lotion. Start rubbing.
That's awful. I see George Grayson cat is out there.
Oh yeah.
Mew mew pew pew.
So what else we got? You got anything else? Just gonna chat about nothing.
Whatever you want to talk about.
I have no idea what I want to talk about. We've kind of covered. I mean, we all know what. Well, we're kind of waiting to see if Hangouts actually does go away. Which I'm kind of with G on this. I don't see. I mean, they say it's going away, but they haven't really put out anything not that I've seen, other than the little blurb whenever you start something. Has anybody else seen anything else about it?
That's what I mean. The only thing that they're removing is the ability for the Hangout to go live, but the Hangout will still be here. So that's the only reason they're telling us as we go live, and that's the only reason the only time they even tell us.
What you do is you just have the Hangout, and then you have another camera facing your screen, and you just broadcast that. I know that's awful.
That might be what I have to do.
No, you can do that. We used to do stuff like that back in the day. You can, like, when there wasn't the side chat, that's what we would do. Well, maybe not with a camera, but we would screen share the comments.
Has anybody gone to Hangouts? Nope.
The Meet, you mean the new one?
No, I just typed in Hangouts, and of course it brought up video call, but I don't want to do that because that's gonna drop me.
It's still up, but apparently they're getting rid of it August 1st for YouTube.
Seven says he predicts Hangouts will be available on a subscription basis. I mean, that sounds highly likely. Because what other reason would they have for taking something away other than to sell it back to you?
Yeah.
Because it costs, right? It costs way too much to provide it for free. So if you really want to use it, here's what it actually costs. And if you don't really want to use it, then good. Quit being a burden on us.
If it's reasonable, I mean, I'm all in for the paid part because, like you just said, it's going to eliminate people that are just messing around with it. And if you're serious, it'll thin things out a little, as long as it's not crazy.
I mean, is Google starting to get pushback, or not necessarily Google, but YouTube? Are they starting to get pushback from Alphabet on what they're going out? Because I mean, a lot of their stuff lately has been cost-saving stuff, like when they eliminated, when you went up, you had to have 4,000 hours and 1,000 subs before you can get monetized, and then they came through right before Wanamaker, and you had to have 1,000 subs to go live from mobile, and now you're getting to Hangouts on air is going away. I think they're getting pushback from Alphabet and on how much they're losing on YouTube.
I think it's that mixed in with if you watch the Project Veritas with one of the YouTube employees on how they're silencing conservatives, as well as just anybody they don't agree with. Even they're doing a bit more than just cost cutting. They're also, it seems like, not just cost cutting, they're tightening the belt by restricting even the smallest of YouTube channels, because they're all about the big YouTube channels, the big channels that make the money via the advertisements, and they're also trying to push out before it's called YouTube Red. I have no idea what it's calling YouTube now, and they're also trying to push out the fact that they're doing TV service through YouTube as well.
Holy moly! So I don't think it's any of that. If they wanted money, then they could just put ads on live stuff. They already do that. In fact, I don't know why they don't. Right? There could be an
Or
ad.
they could get all of us to pay $5 a month or $10 a month.
Oh no, I mean right now. They wouldn't have to do nothing, and there could just be an ad on the screen, and nobody could do nothing about it, or it would just pop up every 10 minutes, or maybe pay, and the ad would go away. But whatever. I think it's more. I don't like to agree with Night Strike, but I think they just don't want to have a situation going into 2020. Potentially, I don't know. I'm just theorizing. They don't want a situation going into a 2020 where everybody with a phone is going onto YouTube and streaming every weird thing and causing all kinds of commotion. They can't control message, and that means they're liable. So I don't know if it's necessarily nefarious as much as just practical. Like, it's a lot of stuff going on, and what's the payoff? If their goal originally was to just create communication and then it gets twisted, at some point you got to go, hey, hold on there, you're doing weird things with that tool, like put it down, give me it back. I think something like that, maybe, because if they wanted the money, turn on an ad and then there's money, or like you say, charge us $50 and there's money.
Or they could monetize me and Sarge, and that'd be a little more money for them.
Well, good channel. Good channel. But they also they give us 8 hours. They could shut it back down to an hour if they were worried about money, right? Say, oh, you can live chat all you want for an hour.
Yeah, I don't know that YouTube and Google itself are really worried about money. I think they're doing okay.
I don't know if they start losing money on each one of these little live streams, from like G just said, people on a phone. And I'm not knocking anybody that's trying to do actual content, but there's people that just get on there and just talk about a bunch of nonsense. Who knows how much that could be eating, how much bandwidth, and it's probably just crazy.
Turn on their computer and go to work, and it's their baby cam or their puppy cam or their security cam, and then
it's probably just crazy the amount that is being produced like that.
Yeah, I mean, the last we paid attention to was years ago, and they were literally building like island barges to build, just this. They could put them out in the ocean so that would help cool them, and then they'd run giant computers out there that would just dealing with all the YouTube stuff. There's just a lot of stuff. So the way you get rid of that is to quit trying to put it all in one building, right? You start taking that amount of stuff and you fill out the rest of the internet with it. We'll have browsers that are smarter. We'll have AI. We'll have distributive computing. We'll have dangerous situations, and we'll have all kinds of potential for good stuff.
Sounds like a perfect place for GunTube to get in.
Do you even want to be in an environment like that? Growing.
Now, and see, I don't think that the stuff they did with changing the requirements for monetization and changing the requirements and for live streaming on mobile and this, I don't think all three of these were aimed at anybody in particular. I think it was just a shotgun blast to something to save money or to cut down on the content that's coming in and taking it. I don't remember what the number is, but it's an ungodly number of hours per minute
That are like days per minute or something, right? It's like just crazy.
Yeah, that are uploaded to YouTube, and it's ungodly.
And they have to store all that. And then if they've got any kind of, I don't know, I can't even imagine, but back in the day, I can tell you that platforms would store data. So if there was some sort of legal action, they could go back and look at records and stuff. Can't even imagine how many transactions, not to mention the data. And like I said, I keep recommending watch that Smarter Everyday series on the outside the foreign actors that are dealing with these platforms. 1 million accounts a day they're deleting. So imagine how much content they're deleting. They have blenders that you just point them at the internet. They'll absorb content off the internet like the Borg. They'll have all this stuff in a big folder basically, and it'll just turn it into a blender, take all the little pieces of video and put them into a semi-coherent stream, and just kicks out videos like hot dogs coming out of a machine. Video, 10 minutes and 40 seconds, 10 minutes and 22 seconds, like just so that it works with the logarithm. And they've got to deal with things that look exactly like real videos. Like somebody just said, hey, here's YouTube. I'm going to try this out today. And then they've got accounts that were 2 years old that somebody finally got the password hacked. And then a 2-year-old account starts acting like that. I mean, they have such stuff they have to deal with. I can't even imagine when you add the live to it. Just what if when something goes broke? Like they think of the, whoever the guy is, the equivalent of a guy with a wrench, Schneider, who has to go downstairs and fix it every time something's broke. They must have dozens of people on that kind of job, right?
37 mind-blowing facts about YouTube. 300 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. That's nearly 2 weeks of video.
Well, have you ever seen one of the Google server buildings? They have one in Pryor, which is just a few miles from, like 45 minutes from me. And now they're adding on to it again right now. I mean, that thing is massive. It is huge. Takes up. I bet the building itself is bigger than 2 city blocks. The building itself.
Oh, really?
And they're adding, a few more. Maybe bigger than that.
300 hours a minute. That means in the time that this show runs, if we run the full 2 hours, there will be 36,000 hours of video have been uploaded to YouTube.
Can you tell me this? Does it say what the average channel
days.
size is?
Under 1,000.
Well, I know, but I'm saying that I'm wondering what it is.
I don't.
Because when they put some of these restrictions at a subscriber size, I'm curious how much of that content it would reduce. Like when they reduced the mobile live streaming, when they bumped it to 1,000, they probably cut it down 70% of that was being uploaded from phones, or probably 90% that was being uploaded from mobile. I'm just curious. Because that goes into that number you're talking about, 300 hours a minute. I mean, does it reduce it to 250 or to 200 hours a minute?
I know that doesn't look real big, but this is Google's data center right here.
Hold on.
Let me zoom in where you can see a car.
See the size of the car?
Yeah, it's not that big. There's a big hole in the middle of the building.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
they're
look
adding
at
another one. And this is probably
Look at those air
easily
conditioners.
34 foot tall.
Look at those air conditioners compared to cars, and look at how many of those air conditioners are.
Yeah.
So that you could drive a school bus into any one of those exhaust fans, but 2 school buses at a time, and there's what 2, 4, 6, 12 of them right there. Another building.
They got a nice little basketball court in the center.
What?
I don't know that it's a basketball court, but they should have a basketball court there. So
They
it's
have their own.
the
They have
parking
their own
lot.
police force. I know several people that I actually worked with for a while now work for them full time because just to be security there because it's it's highly secured.
How much heat do these things produce?
Oh, I'm sure a ton. These buildings are probably 40, 50 foot tall, maybe 60 foot tall, anyways.
There's no way that building just got built, though, right?
They built them. I don't remember 7, 8, 9 years ago. Now they moved over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're building a whole nother section about this size right in here now.
I can't imagine they're going to build stuff like that that just takes energy and blows it into the air. You know what I mean? Like if they're creating heat, then I'm assuming at some point they're too smart a business, right? To not throw that heat into the air. If they're going to do something with it, some other side thing. Because those things make a ton of heat. Yeah. I mean, those things are cooking.
Somebody told me that works there said this is the YouTube servers that they have in here. This is what this one is all YouTube servers. I mean, I know there's more than one YouTube one, but
Figure you're going to get faster YouTube then.
well,
What you should do, a lot of times when they have factories like this, they'll sell like the mislabeled and the factory the factory
seconds.
Yeah. And you should go get a whole bunch of factory second YouTube.
I should.
Like all the bits that fall on the floor, like 300 minutes or hours a minute, like a whole bunch of that's got to fall on the floor. And they're like, oh, we can't put this online.
It's too far away to show it. Yeah, it's bigger. It's bigger than I thought it was because it's bigger than the power plant. I'm looking at a power plant compared to it, a coal power plant. This is a coal power plant. You compare it to it, it's definitely bigger than it.
Is energy
Five guys.
Is energy cheap in Oklahoma?
I mean, fairly, yeah.
I'm assuming it must be.
And oddly enough, that facility is smaller than a breakfast plate at Hugo's.
Yeah, that is true.
That's what they could use all that extra heat for, is cooking off that bacon.
Chicken bacon.
Put a big griddle up there. That's like one serving every hour. Like it takes about 800 hours worth of video to cook this one serving of bacon.
I can promise you guys this. If we go back to Wanamaker in November, we're going live from Hugo's.
We just can't put it on a credit card.
Is that legal?
No, they don't take cards.
Yeah, they don't take cards, even though someone says, "What is this? The 20th or the 19th century?" They take cards.
I'm not seeing anything on average number of subscribers. I'm seeing a lot of stuff on, getting to 1,000.
Can you see they try to tell you how to do it instead of just giving the dang numbers that you asked for? How many?
I've heard it's the average channel is under 1,000.
Oh, I'm sure the average channels is under 20. Because there's some people that just have channels just to watch.
Just to watch or just to upload to their mom or to their
Well, yeah, there's a lot of people that upload family videos and stuff,
Yeah.
Their own stuff.
Yes.
and they'll lock them, right? Like you're only going to get 12 or whatever, private or whatever. But who knows how many of those there are? And then how do you deal with that? That's a whole nother maybe for off air.
Oh, now this one says 400 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. What's the date on this one?
See,
May 4th, 2019.
You add that to the other one. Now it's 700 a minute.
How many hours are watched every minute, though? That would be amazing.
A minute. How many hours can you watch in a minute?
Just shut up, Mal.
We watch over 1 billion hours of YouTube videos per day.
You can watch faster than real life. You can put it on double
Yeah,
speed
yeah.
and stuff. Plus, you can thumb through, right? I hardly ever watch a whole video unless it's super awesome, right? I'll thumb through and get to the part that's good because usually people are yapping for a long time.
Well, I can't watch mine super fast. I watch mine super slow because I get the little spinny thing in the center of the screen every 5 seconds. I usually just pause it, walk away, and come back.
81% of U.S. parents use YouTube to find content for their children.
Well, I hope they can find the gun snob on YouTube. Their kids should really be watching that.
Over half of YouTube users use a site to work out how to do things they've not done before, unless it's gun stuff, and then you used to be able to do that. Now you can do it a little less.
You can learn how
to Cerakote and make holsters on the Gun Snubs channel on YouTube. Just
you can learn how to infringe really good. Like I want to learn how to infringe about guns.
As of October 2014, YouTube has paid out $2 billion to rights holders since 2007.
I saw something interesting the other day. Speaking of platforms and whatnot, and it's kind of related. Did you see where Donald Trump was, I guess, not allowed to block people on his official Twitter?
Yes.
Yeah.
And did you see where where another Republican, I can't think of his name, you guys will know it maybe, is suing AOC and getting an injunction because she blocked him on Twitter?
No, I did not. I did not hear about that one.
Yeah, she'll block people on Twitter in a heartbeat, and then he's filed an injunction against her for doing that.
Hey, Sarge, will you block me on Twitter?
I'm suing everybody that blocks me on every platform from now on. So
Well, it's because they're
got a job.
because they're a public official.
Got a job getting paid by bloggers.
It's because they're a public official, and it's their official Twitter, as in their elected position.
You know how to make the life so much easier in the United States better? If somebody would just block Donald Trump from getting on Twitter.
Yes.
He would be a 20 times more popular president if he stayed his ass off.
Or he has to tell somebody else who types it in, and they're like, "Oh, hold on, let's fix this."
He needs
The annual
somebody like
cost.
I agree with what you're saying. You just can't say it like that.
The annual cost of running and maintaining YouTube is $6.35 billion a year. Google's annual revenue generated from YouTube is $4 billion.
Hold on, 4 million or 4 billion?
Billion. So they're losing $2.35 billion per year.
Do you really think they're losing that?
Can't.
No,
they're losing it. They're getting it from they're borrowing.
Yeah, it's coming in from Google and
No, I mean that, but I'm saying the reason that they're even doing this with that sort of a ratio is because they're gleaning info. I suspect they're getting like when they first started the voice activation, like you could talk to your phone on Google.
Mm-hmm.
You could do that for a while, and then it kind of got worse, and that's because they like had finished listening to everyone's voices, and like their robots could talk good. So they have like projects where they'll put stuff out, like the book readings and stuff. Like they'll go out and get projects, and then when they're done, they're done. There was research or that was necessary for the next step. So I think they've been getting something from these hangouts, and it doesn't necessarily be like they listen to everything, but just imagine how Facebook has the control that it does is because every time somebody goes on Facebook and likes something from somebody else, that's knowledge that they're able to use with these giant brains on how we're going to purchase something tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So see all of us merging together and interacting, that the ability of them to read that matrix, that giant roadmap or traffic jam looking map of us interacting with each other is telling. That's how they know what we're buying before we want to buy it. So that's what I think they're losing that $2 billion a year off of. Now they might be done with that. They might be like, all right, we've figured out all these people's habits. They've watched the ant farm long enough. They're done. They don't need the ant farm anymore.
What I was why I brought up the Twitter thing. Does anybody else think that might be like sort of the start to taking away a little bit of YouTube's power. Kind of, I know what they're saying about that. There was a government person couldn't block them, but they're kind of getting it. They're opening the door to start regulating some of these media platforms. I just wonder if they could make it to where they couldn't treat people differently.
That wasn't against the platform, though. That was against.
Yeah, I agree. But they're starting to get into social media, like rulings. And could this help with some of us being treated more fairly, or just in general? Because they can just not monetize someone because they don't like them, or they can terminate a channel because they don't like them. I was just wondering if maybe this is starting to open the door to that stuff being regulated, just like they've had what's his name that owns Facebook. They've had it in front of Congress several times. I think maybe this could help us.
How is this different than like back in the day when there was a big newspaper or like a big national magazine, and they like, well, our magazine is 60 pages, so we charge advertising and XYZ. There you go. And then a bunch of people saying, well, they've got this attention, they've got this national magazine. Why don't they make it more pages? Why don't they, and then they didn't ever regulate that and say, hey, you know what? You do distribute to the world, and you're using our roads, and our mail is delivering your magazine. You should make it 120 pages and give the government half of it, and we get to decide what's in those other 60 pages. Because isn't that the equivalent? They're saying, hey, you're using this stuff so somehow we get to say what you're doing. Like, I think it's regulating free speech ultimately.
Well, no, I meant. Well, I was just wondering if the government being involved with trying to level the playing field, would it stop YouTube from regulating free speech? Maybe stop them from doing it? Because at some point they have to decide whether they're a platform or whether they're endorsing some of this content, which is kind of what they're doing now by limiting it.
Oh yeah, I think if it goes like, hey, you pick one or the other, they're gonna pick. Okay, we're what is it? Editorial thing, so we get to pick what's on here.
Right? When they go editorial, then they become responsible.
That's what I mean. Like, they're gonna say, okay, you want us to choose, because that's the choice, right? You're either responsible for what's on there or you're not. Like, you're either hands off or you're not. But you can't say you're hands off and then edit. You got to do one or the other, right? That's the challenge. I think they're gonna say, well, then we'll edit. Because who in their right mind is going to say we're not going to edit? That allows chaos. And who wants to be a part of not just, if you don't agree with somebody, why would you want to help them get the word out on a lie or a misconception or a different point? So I would think they would say, okay, we'll just go to this, and then what'll happen? They'll just say, now we have the right, and sort of the obligation to turn you all off because you're saying stuff that we don't agree with, and we have to editorialize. Or they'll just say, goodbye, we're done. Click, turn the lights off, and sell servers to people.
And looking up that article looked up an article on that, and yeah, let's see. They're the people suing AOC are citing the ruling against Trump. So we'll have to.
What is it?
The people that are suing AOC for blocking them are citing the ruling that Trump couldn't block people.
Exactly. That's why they're doing it.
Yes.
It's like, haha, you think you won, but now we're going to get you because you're doing the exact same thing. Or worse.
That's a lot of times they don't think about this stuff. They don't think two steps ahead on this stuff. They think they've got the moral high ground. So it should.
Or do they both want the water to be a little bit higher, so they both agree to take that next step and blame each other? Now we're saying, hey, both of them weren't perfect, and now the water's higher. They took that other step together.
And just leave all of us with just our chins above the water. It went from being chest high to being chin high.
I guess most of us are swimming, but
what's Gary going to do? He's kind of short.
Swim all around.
Well, yeah, swim.
Gary will just get
Swimming,
dehydrated.
chicken swim.
And then you lean down in selfies. Stand up.
Wow.
I only said it because it was true. I was trying to take a selfie with us, and you just kept leaning down. Like, why is he not in the picture? Stand up.
He's like, let me get my big boy shoes on.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not that you were short. So you were leaning down.
And he's short.
But he's always smiling. You can tell by his eyes and the top of his hat.
It's all right. Paybacks are hell.
Well, we've already seen up Snob's nose and his feet. So, I mean, any picture you take of him, not going to be any worse than that.
I ain't taking pictures of Snob. I like my cameras a lot more than that.
No, so it'll definitely be interesting to see how the ruling comes down against AOC, if it does, or if they allow her to keep blocking people. But
Can't.
You'd think that. You'd think that, but they also, said that Trump couldn't put the citizenship question on the census because of his reason. They literally said he had the right to that it, the government has the right to know who's citizens, how many citizens there are, but not because of his reason.
Well, he didn't put it on there as much as people wanted to take it off. It's always been on there.
Barack Obama took it off.
Yes.
So it hasn't always been on there.
It had up until that point.
Until Barack Obama took it off.
Exactly.
Yeah, which he shouldn't have done.
Exactly. So he's just wanting to put it back on.
Yeah, they won't let him because
it had always been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they won't let him because of his reason. The actual ruling when it came down was
what was his reason?
He wants to know if you're a citizen or not.
They went back and forth on things, and he should have just said, if he would have just said, I want it on there because I want to know how many citizens we have, then it would have been okay.
But why did it have to come down to he wanted it on there? Why can't it come back to for the historical documentation that it has always been?
Because it's
what was the first intent of it? Use that as the reason for what the first intent was, to document people, to maintain history. Have you guys ever looked at like Ancestry.com and looked at the old censuses?
Gary hasn't.
Yep, a whole bunch.
They're pretty neat, and they don't want to ask anything, and they're not going to be able to. But they don't want to ask anything new now that they didn't ask then, other than after Obama. And it wasn't racist then, and it wasn't anything then. It was just trying to document the growth of the country.
But that and the other, what was the other one that came out that same session? I thought they got both of those wrong. I forget what the other one was now.
How come Rich can't tell us this?
Rich, what was the other ruling that came down that same
You should
day?
be able to just rattle this off, all the census information and the rulings.
Damned if I know.
What?
Whoa.
Write it down, folks.
Whoa.
Write it down.
Let it be
Rich always
known.
keeps up with this stuff.
Let it be known that on this date,
No clue.
Rich White did not know.
Who is our official Gun Channel's crier?
Honestly, I haven't paid attention to much of anything lately.
You're fired. All right, take his money away.
What money?
No check for you.
If I were getting paid, I might have paid attention. Notice I said might have. There's no guarantee.
Oh, gerrymandering. That was the other one that came through. They had one from each. They had one from the Democrats doing it, and one from the
What the hell's Midnight saying?
the Republicans do it. And the Supreme Court came down and said that gerrymandering was okay. And I've never been a fan of gerrymandering. If you've seen some of those districts, it's ridiculous. Because they'll cut like a street-wide strip through the city. They'll have a big block over on one side of the city, and then the street that goes all the way through and over to the other block of that same party on the other side of the city, and that's all one district. And they both do it.
I've always been a fan of the little tiny circle district that's like 15 miles away from the rest of the district.
Don't they all have to be connected though?
No.
No, they can always have them. They can have them just.
If you look at certain congressional districts, you'll have a congressional district running right through the center of one district, splitting up one district into two other ones. It's really crazy, but they can get away with doing that. They do not have to be connected to each other. You can have half over here and another half over here with another district running right between the middle of them.
So those were the two. I thought they got both of those wrong, but I am not a lawyer or a Supreme Court justice.
Jason said, "I just had a deja vu moment. Turns out I hit rewind by mistake." At Midnight Range, I see that, and I really would have loved that as a kid. And that does kind of look similar to me, maybe a little more.
Kind of looks similar. Screen share it.
That's an Instagram post I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, he tagged you in it. Don't worry.
Okay.
Screen share it.
So was that your topic that you had like an hour ago, Sarge? Was the AOC?
Yeah, just kind of talking about that.
Okay.
And bringing. It's a slippery slope if they start regulating some of this. Maybe it'll regulate a little bit of it that they can't regulate against us. Right?
That would be nice, but then that would put
to a degree.
That would put GunTube out of business, and we want GunTube to be in business.
No, and they're too small. Fly under the radar.
No, I mean if they didn't, suppress us, then what's Night Strike got for a sales pitch? You got another sales pitch lined up, Night Strike?
I do not. I only had that one.
Oh, so you're in the pocket of big YouTube though. You want YouTube to keep restricting us.
No.
He could be the one reporting these videos.
Ha!
That's it.
Your video shall be infringed.
Listen to that.
Very
That's
funny.
an
inside joke.
Very funny.
He didn't
wish
say
I was the
no.
one-
No, he still
He
had
did not say no.
No, I'm saying no right now. I'm not reporting any videos.
I
No
wouldn't
matter
do
how
that.
much I'd like to report Sarge's videos.
They started with the
When
slow.
did Armament get in here? I just heard him talking.
That does look like Gun Snob, except with more hair, but
Yeah.
It does.
younger.
More hair.
Need to present that.
I am, aren't I?
Did you take that picture last weekend?
No, if it was last weekend, he'd have a too tight shirt with pearl snaps on it.
Looks like you got another gun for free.
It's in the pocket of big wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Big wheels, exactly.
Yep.
What was the company that made all those big wheels back in the 80s? He's in their pocket. I can't remember the name of the company now, though.
Dude, that says right on there Rambo. That's some sort of crazy Rambo big wheel.
Yeah, see the gun
Yeah,
on
but
the
there
dash.
was a company that made one for Rambo. There was one they made for Knight Rider. They made one for the A-Team. There was all this one company that made all of these.
Oh, I didn't know that. That was way after I was using them. Even.
Wasn't it like Power something or something? It wasn't Power Wheels, but Power something maybe?
Lewis Marks and Company is what the interwebs is saying. Is the 1969.
That wasn't what I was thinking.
Snubbo.
It can't be Rambo in '69.
No, I'm just talking about the big wheel. I think the big wheel might be like a like a Kleenex thing. I think it might actually be a name of a specific one.
Yeah, the blue and orange one though is like the first one, right?
Yeah, it's got the red frame with the yellow handle and the blue seat.
Everybody knows the green machine was far superior to the big wheel.
Didn't the green machine have the brake or something?
Yeah, you could do power slides with it.
Well, they came out with big wheels that had that later too. Or you could do the power slides with the big wheel.
See,
No, it would definitely be nice.
Power
if,
Cycle brand was the one I was thinking of. Big Wheel brand name, and the molds were sold to Empire Plastic, makers of the Power Cycle brand. I think that's what the one I have was Power Cycle.
See, Squib's on Team Green Machine.
You're switching to green?
No, I was just on, when I was a kid, I was on Team Green Machine instead of Team Big Wheel. Because the Green Machine was far superior.
I lost my hangout. There it is.
Lost your hangout?
Yeah, it ran away.
But no, we can hope that maybe some of this starts bleeding into other things, because it'd be nice to be less infringed upon.
Unless you're Night Strike, then you like the infringement, so you can scream "shall not be infringed." Because see, if we had no infringements, what would Night Strike's tagline be?
Shall not be infringed.
No, but if we have no infringements, if it's never been a thing, what would you? You wouldn't have a tagline. So
I am not.
Night Strike wouldn't even exist.
I would still use it.
Night Strike would just poof and gone.
he would have made it up. He would have
never been here.
I would have invented it. There we go.
Could you imagine a world without Night Strike?
Well, my hearing would be much more restored.
No, it wouldn't. Don't lie.
Permanent hearing loss from hearing him scream in my earphones.
Lies and slander.
Block me. I dare you. Block me on Twitter. I'll sue you so fast.
He's not a government entity.
Can we retro sue to the people who have already blocked us, or do they have to commit the act of blocking us for us to sue them?
I think they have to be a public entity.
G-Webs is a public entity.
You could probably get them to pay some type of
Well, so is
restitution.
Night Strike.
Like an elected official.
We elected G-Webs.
Yeah, I'm the big deal on the internet.
Oh, he's like the OG of YouTube. He's like the first 2A tuber.
And Night Strike is the CEO. I mean, his website says so.
It's true.
I'm the CEO of Obnoxious One. Which is another thing, I think.
No one's arguing that.
No one wants any part of that.
I don't blame them. So, and did anybody? I know probably everybody here did, and probably a lot of people out in the chat. My video that I released today with dragging my Savior equipment guitar case around. I know Guitar Man Pete wanted me to toss it out of the truck and throw something heavy on it, but I don't know if I'm willing to go that hard on it because I still like it. I mean, I knew dragging it behind the golf cart was probably going to wreck the wheels, but I also knew that they were going to fix it. So I've already been in contact with them. They've already told me that they're sending me the fix and new wheels, even though I destroyed it when I didn't have to.
Oh my God, them little wheels are no more than an inch around, I think.
Yeah, they're probably inch and a half.
You imagine how fast they were turning at 15 mile an hour. How fast those little bitty tiny wheels would be turning?
Oh yeah. Well, the one wasn't turning all that fast because that one got chewed up. But that was when they slid out.
Of course, we have to listen to Obnoxious shill about his videos in here. I don't know where he gets this from.
I didn't learn from the best, but I learned from somebody in this panel.
If you're
It's good to-
interested, you can go over to patreon.com and help Obnoxious fight e-begging.
Yes. No, actually, right now it is straight up e-begging because that's the only money coming into this household right now.
If you go over to patreon.com, you can support Obnoxious and his e-begging.
Please don't let this man starve.
Well, the wife had 7 interviews this week. She's got 3 of them tomorrow. So we're hoping. But yeah, what do we got? Oh, about 10 minutes till Clover.
I
should be-
threw a gun case in the lake this weekend, so
You hadn't made your son swim with it.
yeah, I didn't really throw it in. I just made him jump in with it.
Got so many free guns around here. I'm going to start throwing them into lakes. Dang it. You know,
You know, Snap, now that you've done that, though, you've completely ruined your chance at saying you lost it in a boating accident.
I know. Well, I actually took Misha put a comment on there about something about gun owners will be sad. So I took what he said when I uploaded it to Facebook and it said the new ATF designed floating gun case to reduce boating accidents.
well, we all know that all guns are loaded. Gun people always say that all the time. All guns are loaded, right? So that thing's going to get violent in there. So it's floating around in the lake. It's going to get violent. It's going to start shooting. It's not bulletproof, so then it'll sink.
Yeah, and there's going to be a bunch of dead catfish.
People could just start having like hiking accidents or plane crashes or something.
That brings up a good point. We can talk about it for just a couple minutes. Why has the interwebs turned it into from all guns are loaded until I have verified they're unloaded to it's just all guns are loaded now? Where did the until I verified thing go
Because
away?
of California.
All guns in California are loaded?
I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
And me too.
No, I'm guessing that comes from, like, there was a time when it would have been silly to talk about something like that. It would be like, let's talk about hammer safety, guys. Like, yeah, don't hit yourself with it in your hand. So shut up and let's talk about something real, right? And then it got to maybe with the cartridges and the more complicated guns, or maybe with the pistols. I don't really know. I'm just guessing. But maybe somewhere in there they started figuring out we need safety. Or maybe it was when people got drafted and started being shoved a gun in their hand, and it wasn't like a black powder that took an hour and a half to load and then only had one shot. But if you picked up a 1911 incorrectly and just started pulling on that trigger, you're shooting whoever's left of you, right? Like every right-handed person's going to pick that thing up and shoot the guy to their left if they've never been given any instruction. So they probably started getting instruction with conscripts and 1911s, I think. But it might have been with revolvers and whoever got drafted to the Civil War.
Yeah, it probably started with like revolvers and repeating rifles and whatnot. Especially
Well, I
when you
just
start
don't
getting
understand where we lost the until I verified statement.
Oh, okay, sorry. So I think that training developed, right? And that's what I was getting at. Training developed, and then at some point it veers off, and you start getting the like, So I was saying like it goes from there was no training, you just had your gun, and nobody bothered you about it, and you just you were responsible for it, and then now there's training. I think when you get to training, it developed into at least two pieces. One was all guns are unloaded. Like treat all guns as if they're unloaded or as if they're loaded all the time. Like, never do the other things. Jeff Cooper created the 4 safety rules, so I guess that's where that comes from. But don't point them in the direction that you don't want to shoot something. Keep your finger off the trigger. At that point, even if it's loaded, it's not hurting nobody, right? So I think that rule of thumb went with like cops and military and people who actually carry loaded guns. Like they probably went with just treat all guns as if they're loaded. And then you get people on the civilian side, I'm thinking, and teaching kids and teaching people just basic safety and hunter safety, and hunters who only deal with a gun once a year, seasonally or whatever. Those people you want to teach them, like, once a gun is unloaded, you're good to go. Fuck, screw with it or whatever, because who cares? There's no consequence. But I think that's something, and I don't know if it's exactly like that or not, but I think that's where it comes from. Whenever safety happened, and then it had to diverge between regular people and cops and military, because if you carry a gun every day, that's different than only picking one up once in a while.
Yeah, because I just thought Colonel Cooper's original ones were all guns are unloaded until they've been verified. Or all guns are loaded until they've been verified by yourself unloaded. And
Well,
now, Lord knows, everybody on the internet is, you didn't safety check that on screen.
He's done that. He wrote those rules in 50. I chamber check every single gun I ever do a video on, because number one, I don't have loaded guns on the video, so there's no reason not to. And two, if a little kid is picking up a phone or a computer for the first time, or somebody who's familiar with guns, they watch my video for the first time, I want them to know that that's something that's done by gun owners. So I do that intentionally. I've done it with every single video, pretty much. I'll keep doing it.
I have not, but I'm going to start now.
I mean, that gives me a reason to. I always start with mine with the racked or locked open, the slide lock. If it's semi-automatic, just slide locked open, or the cylinder open or something, to show that it is. But I never do anything. But that makes sense why you would. That reason right there makes a lot more sense than the internet people that think you didn't safety check that.
And it's not like I sat down and said 19 years from now, I'm going to be able to say I've checked every gun. It's just that when I first started, I would be like, and now I'm going to safety check this. And then I got sick of saying it every time, because I figured people had already seen my other videos where I said it. So I just started doing it. Hanging out in a gun shop, you don't pick up a gun without opening it up. You pick up every gun and open it. So that was just I just do that. If somebody gives me a gun, I'm looking inside of it. If you're embarrassed or like whatever, I don't care. I'm a grown man. I don't give a shit if you're embarrassed by me fiddling with your gun, because it's just a habit. I can't even not do it. I don't think I could not do it, honestly. It's what I'm going to do. So anyway, I just do that in video. It's not like, I know, I mean, I do it intentionally, but it's not like I sat down 19 years ago to start doing it.
That's a pretty good repetition to have, though, because, if you're sitting down watching, 15 gun videos, and it's buried in your brain that every single one of them said, make sure it's empty or something like that,
Oh, sorry.
It's a lot less likely you're going to pop yourself.
On the other hand, I don't like safe ranges. I don't like having a bunch of people that think, okay, this gun's unloaded, so I can fiddle with it. I'm much more comfortable on a range where I go to a military or police type of training, where it'll just be a hot range. You're grown men, you're responsible. Load your guns, have them ready when necessary, and period. They don't even address it. They just say this is a hot range. Act like a man, and then act like adults, and it's done. Because that's way more. I think that's the safer ranges. It's when people think there's clean guns, they think there's empty guns, that accidents happen. Yeah. But people who carry them every day, they just never think their gun is empty. They just never do.
All right, let's run it. Let's run it through and get out of here so Clover can start. So,
is he even going to show?
I would assume it's Thursday.
I haven't seen a link. Usually sends one out earlier in the day too.
Yeah, he hasn't posted anything.
I think he quit doing them just like Travis. Everybody's quitting because of Discord.
Yeah,
Discord quitting the internet.
I heard Travis went to work for Bloomberg's why he quit. That's what I heard. I don't know.
Is that what it is?
He didn't need the YouTube money anymore.
They're paying big money over there.
That's what I've heard.
All those giant Slurpees and big gulp cups, they're giving them away to the people.
Well, I mean, I filled out an application, but I wrote down at the bottom that I am getting provided free guns now. So you're gonna have to pony up a little extra from me. I'm a little more expensive than obnoxious.
Travis got hired by Tyson Chicken to do commercials.
Oh, really? That drawing a line in the sand, like.
All right, Gizzard, what do you got coming up? You got something coming up tomorrow, probably.
There will be a Foul Territory coming up tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. And Sunday morning, early bird chat, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. Gizzard Gary's my website. Thank you for the invite.
No problem. Thanks for coming in, Gizzard. G-Webs, you gonna go over to Clover if he has one, and then then you'll have one coming up after that, maybe, if Clover doesn't run a 3-hour show and cork you.
Potentially. Sounds like a plan. Thanks for the invite.
No problem. And everybody go out and check gearwebsites.com because tomorrow, in just an hour, is Free Patch Friday. And you always get something good over there on Free Patch Friday. Kingpin, what you got coming out? I saw you put something out today, or yesterday, or today?
I had a mail call. Jason Stewart and Andrew Faulkner sent me some stuff, and then I got a little Browning 1911 380 I'm going to do a review on. But other than that, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for coming in. Night Strike, you got anything that you do? I mean, what exactly do you do? You do anything? Something? I mean,
what exactly
hit or
would
miss
you say
Tuesday
you do
nights,
here?
9 o'clock on the Night Strike 1 channel on YouTube. Also do rants and raves Wednesday nights after a match chat, whenever we start on Rockwell 219's channel.
And he strikes at night. I mean, it's right there in his name.
do you have some kind of website that people should check out? And I mean, is there some way they can help you with that website to make it better and to maybe get more
Yes.
stuff?
Yes,
I mean,
check out gumtube.org, and if you'd like to support gumtube.org in any ways, we have a Patreon to stay online. We also have a store that you could possibly support GunTube by maybe looking or buying some of the products sold at that store. So check that out. I'll put links in the description or the chat for everyone. So there we go.
all right. Thanks for coming in, Night Strike.
Thank you.
Rich, what do you got coming up that I'm not going to be on?
You don't have an excuse anymore. You can spend all the day with your wife, so you got no excuse to not be on.
She's always here now.
Anyway, this week unloaded over on the Unloaded Media channel at 8:00 Sunday night, and we'll probably be trying out the duck thing over on our show on Sunday just to see how that's going to run when doing a full show. So if you're going to be on the panel and you're one of the people that gets a link, make sure you get there early if you want a spot. You only have 6 on the panel.
All right.
Otherwise, you have to sit down low in the corner and wave at everybody that can't see you.
The only person that can see you is the owner. Can the other people on the panel see? I don't know.
No, you can't see. If you're on the other people on the panel, can see who's in the queue. Only the person running the chat.
So you got 4 people that'll be down there just waving at you.
But they can talk to the people on the panel in the private chat.
Okay. Well, I guess that makes it a little better, but it's still going to be an adjustment. Sarge, what do you got coming up? You gonna actually run a show Saturday?
I'm going to run a show Saturday. I'm going to do a live unboxing tomorrow of the Alpha Outpost Trail Box. I'm hoping at 1 p.m. East. It should be here, and I should unbox it at that time. And in addition to that, I've got a few days off in a row. I'm going to film some video. I need some topics. Well, actually, I got some topics off Patreon. So I got a couple topics. So I'm going to film some video out on the range. Had fun with the last one.
All right. Thanks for coming in. Snob, what are you showing next?
First, I'm going to put a link out there in the chatola. Go help me get that video to 1,000 views in the first 48 hours. So maybe YouTube will promote it if it's been going really good. It's almost there, actually. It's at 770 something, I think, according to Creator Studio. So 780 right now. So yeah, 220 views more. So go share it out there if you want, people. Help me out and watch it. It's pretty cool. Again, that's all. Just chilling. But I ain't getting paid, so I don't think it's really
chilling like a villain.
Chilling like a villain without no paycheck for it. But I've got somebody working on helping me get the paycheck for it. Though, don't worry.
That's your business manager.
I'm a business manager, You
gonna have a show Saturday night, maybe?
I should, unless I do something else. I plan on it,
All right.
Unless Bloomberg hires me. I got
Okay.
tack on that, seeing if he can get me a job.
Okay, that's good. He seems like a stand-up dude. Both of them seem like stand-up dudes. All right, that's it. We're a little over. We're getting out of here. Thanks everybody for coming in. Thank you to everybody out there in the chat that stuck through this. I don't know how many we still got watching.
If you're using a duck, you would know.
I got 19. Well, I have to go to a different screen and look, since it doesn't show up on the Hangouts anymore. So still got 19 watching. I don't understand why most of the time, but thank you guys for watching. We're gonna call this one good. Get your taglines ready.
No PP in cold box.
I've seen peeps selling oranges, but never seen oranges e-bag.
Give him the bird.
Hashtag Porky Piggin.
See you on the range.